everybody, welcome to Positive Energy with Crystals. My name is Hillary, and today we're talking about Black Tourmaline. Um, Black Tourmaline is my favorite protection stone, and even more so now. And this video is going to be about why. So, um, if you've watched, I think it was, I think it was in my favorites video. I explained before. This was my main piece that I kept by our door um, for protection. So when people would walk in our house, this would absorb any negative energy that they brought in, or from our work day. Um, I also had by our back door. I had some. I don't know if it's going to focus right. This. There we go. Now it's focusing. Okay. So I had some little chips in a jar by our back door. So this is by our front door. I had some chips. And then I had these 3 vials for when we traveled. And what we would do is set up one of these vials in each corner of a room, and it would absorb the energy left from previous travelers, like if we were staying in a motel room, an Airbnb, whatever. So it would absorb previous energy, and it would absorb any energy that we brought back, any bad energy that we brought back from the day from doing whatever. So that's what I had. And then well, I guess first let me finish this. So quite a while ago, before I started doing the YouTube videos, I decided I wanted to get to know my crystals better, and I started working with one a month. And Black Tourmaline was one of them. And what I did is I carried one of these vials because I didn't have any smaller stones at the time. So I carried one of these vials in my pocket, and for the whole, well, yeah, for most of the month. And I felt weird, and especially at work. So I kind of thought it was too much to have on me all the time. Um, because I'd get dizzy, and I didn't feel right. And I thought it was weird because I love my Black Tourmaline. So I was excited to have it on me, and I didn't like it. So I thought what I would do is I would get a pendant and wear it like a week, a month, just as, because I thought it was like in me that I needed to clear the energy out of me. So until I would find, when I was looking for one, a pendant, and as you can see, I don't have the pendant yet, but I don't know that I really need it. Um, so what I did is I would keep uh, one of these vials either on my desk at work or in my purse, and that helped. But still, if I was at work, I felt weird. And now I think it's because there was so much negativity at work. Um, it was stressful, and the people I worked for, um, the main one was super, super negative about lots of things. And so I think what was happening is there was so much negativity at that job that it was keeping it away from me, pulling it away from me, pulling it out of me. And I think it was just that, I don't know how to explain it. It's just that feeling of if it can sucked out of you, I guess is how to explain it. So, and I didn't realize that until recently. I got, let's see if it'll focus. I've got 2 of these tumbled stones, and I carry one with me every day now. It's always in my pocket with my amethyst and the stone I'm carrying for the month. So I have 2 of these now, and when I started carrying them, I didn't have that feeling. And I wasn't working at that job anymore, though, either. So that what made me realize that it was the negativity of the day of being at work. So, um, if, if you're in a, well, for me, working, being around all that negativity for that long of a day, it, it was working. It was doing its job, but it was a little too much on me. So, being out of there, I don't have, I can, I can have the peace in my pocket now because I don't have that amount of negativity. There's still some, but I don't have that feeling of it being sucked out or, sucked away from me. So, um, then, while we were packing and decluttering our house, um, we had this room. It was the front bedroom in the house. And we had somebody living with us for a few years that was negative. And after she moved out, it was supposed to be my room for like crafts and working on the computer and stuff. But I hated being in there. I just didn't feel right, and I didn't like working in there. So I would go bring my crafts out of that room and take them into the living room or the dining room or whatever and work on them there, and then back and forth, which was the total opposite of what the point of that room was supposed to be. It was supposed to be where I could go start something and not have to put it away and then get everything back out, when I would leave and come back. But I hated working in there. So it also kind of became the put it in there and deal with it later room. So the time came where I had to work in there. I had to get that room cleaned up so that, well, for one, it had to be packed up. And for another, then, it needed to look good for the photos that the realtor took and for showings. So I had to be in there. And it was hard. And it was almost impossible. I could only work on it for so long, and then I'd have to go to another room or just go chill out for a while. So I got to thinking about it, and I thought, well, maybe there was, even after uh, 10 years since she had moved out, maybe there's still all that negative energy in that room. So what I did, oops, I bumped the camera. So I took a black candle, um, and this piece, and I have a Himalayan salt lamp, and I also use some Palo Santo incense, and I put them in the room until, well, the incense burned out first, but I left everything in that room and until the candle. I used just a tea light, black candle, and then so once that candle was burned out, I cleaned up the incense stuff and got rid of the candle stuff. And then I left this in that room. I think I left it in there for, oh no, I only left it in there for a couple days. And it was totally different. I could be in there. I was happy to work in there. I would actually take stuff in there to organize it and spread out because by then, the room's big and open and spacious. And so that kind of became my organize it area. And I could work in there totally fine. Um, then we listed a house, and when things got a little weird with after the first, well, yeah, the first couple weeks, we kind of, we had a lot of people coming in and out of the house, from people looking at it, realtors, inspectors, appraisers, people driving by the property. We even found out, or we didn't have security cameras, but we had game cameras set up to take pictures of the deer. And we found that people were coming on the property when we weren't home. So my husband and I were kind of talking, and we decided we needed more black tourmaline. So at this point in the story, this is what I had. So then we went for this. Now, we didn't buy, I don't, let me see if I can get it to focus better. We didn't go out and buy each piece separately. This is actually like one big piece. I'm not even going to try to put it together. Oh, I think it was like this. Anyway, it was a big piece with these mixed in there. And my husband took it out to our shop and broke it up. What we wanted was we wanted 4 big pieces to put in each corner. We had an acre. We wanted a big piece to put in each corner of the property. Kind of you doing that, you know, with the motel and room theme. I thought if we put one in each corner, it's going to absorb the bad energy that was there. Plus, it's going to protect any from coming in. So we put one in each corner. And then we ended up with 4 small pieces that I could use too. Well, and then that just, as I was moving them around, that piece broke off. So, we also did a salt burning inside the house, and that was so much fun. And I love just the feeling of the salt burning in the house. If you don't know what that is, Google it, and I might try to find the YouTube video that I used. I'll see if I can find it. If it's not in the description when this video posts, it's probably because I couldn't find it. But it was awesome. And so so the salt cleansing we did the day we put these in. And we also did cups of salt in each area of the house. We even put one underneath the house, out in the shop. I think we had them in the yard. We had little cups of salt everywhere. And then after, I can't remember how many days we had those set up. After we did that, then we got rid of them off the property. So they wasn't even in our trash bin on the property. We got rid of all that salt off the property. And these stayed there, and it made such a huge difference. Between the salt burning and the black tourmaline, it was amazing. You could feel the difference. It was amazing. Things got better after that. And then the day we closed, we went around and picked up each of these out of the corners. And I've got them stored for our next house. I'm going to do, right away, I'm going to do that. I'm going to put these in the 4 corners of our property. I might put these like outside in the 4 corners around the house. I haven't decided. I kind of like having these, so we'll see once we get a house. And then this, this one will go by the front door or the main door that guests come in, and I'll set it back up how I had it in our old house. Right now, with us living in the camper, I've got these in this bag, so they're like this, and then close it up, and I hang it from, there's a hook by our door in the camper, so it works the same way as we come in and out. It absorbs the energy we brought back to the camper. I thought about hanging this one, but it's a little heavy, and I don't want them to fall, and so these are work perfectly though. I could even use these if I really wanted to, but these are fine. And so that's my black tourmaline. I don't know what else to say about it. It's after doing all that and just feeling the difference from when I was at work, just feeling that, and then feeling the difference after I cleansed that front bedroom, and then when we did the salt burning and set these up in the 4 corners, it was just, everything was different. So that is black tourmaline, and it's still my favorite protective stone, and it is probably even more my favorite now after going through that process of cleansing the room, the salt burning, and setting these up for the protection. in the four corners, having a piece on me all the time, it's even more my favorite protection stone. So I still might get the pendant. I don't know. We'll see. It'd have to be like the perfect pendant. But if you have any questions about black tourmaline and uh, the negative energy work I did with it, put the question in the comments and I'll answer them. If I've got enough questions, I might do another black tourmaline video, because I could probably do many on black tourmaline and amethyst, of course, and then even more videos combining the two. So we'll see. But let me know if you have any questions, and if you have used black tourmaline and had a similar experience with it, put that in the comments too. I want to see how it works for other people. So that's black tourmaline, and I love it. So be sure to like the video if you liked it, and click subscribe if you're not subscribed yet, and I will see you next time.